I'm very happy to be talking today to Susan Shaw, who's the acting head of the ITU's Special Initiative Division. Now, you want to talk to us today about Connect to School, Connect to Community. Could you just give us some background, fill us in on what is the initiative?
Sure, I'd be happy to. In Connect to School, Connect to Community, ITU is trying to support its member states in developing national school connectivity plans. And these are national school connectivity plans that ideally would be coordinated between ministries of communication, national telecommunications regulatory authorities, and ministries of education. And the idea is that through these plans, our member states would agree to connect all of their schools to broadband services, and in that way the connected schools could serve not only the children and youth who attend those schools, but also could be further developed as community ICT centers and serve the greater community at large, targeting in particular a series of vulnerable or marginalized groups such as women, indigenous people, persons with disabilities, and of course people living in very remote or underserved areas.
Is this a real issue? Is it very important that these people have access to ICTs and get that sort of skill level where they can get employment?
Yes, well, what we're trying to do with this initiative is to develop an online toolkit to share best practices. And one of the modules of this toolkit that is currently under development is a gender module. And in that gender module, we're going to be looking at how ICTs can be used to promote training for women to promote their social and economic development. For example, to provide language literacy training. And in Egypt, UNESCO has developed an interesting project teaming up with a private sector company that has a Arabic language literacy training program that can teach women Arab literacy in something like 30 or 35 hours. And this has been delivered in computer labs in Egypt. And that, of course, language literacy is the foundation for all social and economic development.
Are governments entirely convinced of this? I mean, I imagine that if you look at a government's budget, that there are many other priorities in developing countries that they have to put in front of ICT development. Are they entirely convinced that this sort of expenditure is really going to bear dividends, or are you hooking them up with outside investors who are either donating or helping with the funding of these projects?
Right. Well, one of the fundamental questions that this toolkit will address is how to fund school connectivity, and there are actually a variety of models that can be used depending on the country's level of economic development. So there are countries that are in fact pumping lots of money into school connectivity, and that might be in Ministry of Education budgets. But as we heard this morning in some of the discussions in the opening plenary session, I think at least 50 countries have launched broadband stimulus packages. So using some of those broadband stimulus funds to connect schools is an ideal way both to serve the goal of extending broadband networks, particularly in rural and remote areas, as well as connecting schools. So it's very much, we heard one comment about how countries need to think comprehensively and put different programs together. If a country is investing in roads, it's very cheap to lay a fiber optic network at the time that you're investing in the road. I think that was one of the comments that was made this morning. It's very similar here. If countries can work together, they can also use, for example, their universal service funds. A lot of countries have passed or have created universal service funds, have collected a fair amount of money. Some of the funds might have been created at a time when countries were promoting payphone access because fixed line networks were the only option. Now, with ubiquitous mobile phones, payphones are increasingly unnecessary, made redundant. So those funds can be redirected. And Brazil, for example, has redirected some of those funds and is putting it into school connectivity or requiring operators who used to have to, who formerly had an obligation to develop payphones, now to connect urban schools with broadband connectivity. So there are a variety of mechanisms that countries have available, and we're hoping with this toolkit to be able to share those so that each country can find different options that will work in its environment.